Alex. Well, happy birthday. Obviously, would have wanted the present of a victory today, but one of those games. I mean, just a mad start, and it didn't really calm down.
Yeah, I think it was a very frantic game, and I think we were really good as well. I think we've come here and dominated, and unfortunately in football you don't always get what you deserve, and I think tonight's one of them ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where actually after the Salford game, Paul Warne wasn't actually happy. Got the 3 points, but he was like, well, we can't keep playing like that and win matches. Tonight, he's actually quite chilled about it. Would you kind of go along with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's come in there and give a real clear message and just said like he's really enjoyed us tonight. I think we used the Salford game actually. We said sort of 9 times out of 10, I think we lose that game with the chances they missed, and we sort of scored at the good times. And then tonight, you play really well and you don't win. So football has a funny way of balancing itself out. And listen, the best teams, what the gaffer's driving and what the lads want to achieve, like we'll dust ourselves down and get ready for Saturday.
There's a lot of near misses. Like, I mean, chances in that second half. I suppose maybe the keeper didn't have too many to save. Quite a few went over or were blocked. Yeah,
I think we had some real good chances. I think I had one in the first half. I've sort of caught too sweet and it's gone wide. Obviously, Joe's right to death. You'd fancy Joey to score that. But listen, it's just one of them nights. I think we played really well. I think we sort of done a lot without really testing the goalkeeper, but there was chances there where on another day you put away and sort of you win the game handsome. But listen, that's football, that's life, and unfortunately it is what it is. We'll recover now, dust ourselves down and get ready to bounce back Saturday.
A couple of errors, I suppose, that led to goals which will be disappointing.
Yeah, I just said to the lads in there, listen, the lads are coming in and apologising. I said, listen, we don't need that. I think that happens in football from top to bottom. We've all been around the game long enough now, and you don't mean to make a mistake. You don't go out there and think, oh, I'm going to make a mistake tonight. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate. Obviously, they've scored a worldie and it's 2 mistakes, but that's football. Listen, we're old enough now to know we can move on from that and get ready again to go again in a few days.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Dennis had a difficult time, certainly with injuries at MK Dons, but I mean, he probably won't have hit a ball sweeter than that in his life.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever seen Matty do that, but listen, fair play to him. It's nice to see someone's found a home and they're flourishing, so fair play to him.
A game that you can learn from, or do you think, no, actually, if we play like that, we'll be all right?
No, I think that's the standard. I think, listen, we've had games this season where we've not quite performed well enough and got over the line and got 3 points and sort of creeped over the line, but if that's our standard for the rest of the season, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about strength in depth, and obviously that even the squad that you've got was stretched earlier in the season, but now you bring in players like Aaron Collins and Gethin Jones and the like off the bench. I mean, that, and you thought 1 or 2 to come back actually.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I think to be a part of a group what we've got and lead a group what we've got in there, it's really special, and I think we always knew it would take time. Obviously, we all hoped and prayed it would sort of hit the ground running and we'd sort of see this amazing team from the first game, but it's sort of taken a lot longer than we thought. But I think we're going to really start pouring into gear now in this Christmas period when this game's thick and fast. We can really utilise what we've got, and then sort of going into the new year, I think that's when you'll see us at our best.
We're looking at kind of the stats between this game and the game in April here, obviously, which was a low point in a low season. But actually, the amount of players from that 18, there's only 2 that aren't here now, and they were loan players. So the manager's kind of come in and rather than all this money that seems to be talked about externally, actually, it's a lot of the players who were here before that have made a huge difference.
100%. I think the gaffer give us an opportunity in the summer and a chance to really show how good we are, because last season, obviously, was probably one of the darkest of my career, and the things we went through as a football club, not just players, fans as well. So for the gaffer to give everyone a clean slate and say to lads, come in and prove to me you're good enough to be around it, because like you said, obviously all this money shout coming from everywhere, he could have easily replaced everyone if it was all true. But lads sort of really showed their worth, and we need them lads now because they've become really important players.
And you must be pleased to see the likes of Liam Kelly, Joe Tomlinson, Aaron the Main, Kane Thompson-Summers. I mean, there is quite a list of them actually who certainly externally, I think a lot of people felt probably wouldn't still be at the club or certainly wouldn't be some of the first names on the team sheet, and here we are.
100%, and I think that's what sort of makes me so proud as a teammate is them lads got written off last season, and obviously I could see them going in their shell and really sort of going under, and because it was tough. Listen, I struggled, and I can easily say that I'm a grown man. I really struggled last season, but to see lads sort of bounce back and take an opportunity and be out there performing the way they are, it's night and day from where they was last season. So obviously credit goes to the manager, but credit goes to the players we've brought in, sort of bringing the best out of the players who they got signed for a reason. They're lads with unbelievable ability, so it's nice to see what they're doing, and it's nice to see how they bounce back.
You've obviously had to spend your birthday with the management of the players and that, but do you celebrate it with the family another day?
Yeah, obviously the ideal scenario would have been 3 points tonight, but listen, it wasn't to be. Hopefully we have belated 3 points on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Straight back into it. You mentioned that slightly earlier, but Cambridge, another team in the top kind of 10, and you get the opportunity to not put it right, but just get the points.
No, I think that's perfect as well. I think imagine we had to wait sort of a week for another game, sort of dulling over this and worrying about this. At least we can dust ourselves off and go again in 3 days, whatever it is. Yeah, 3 days.
And just a point on the other teams in the division. Some funny results again. It's one of those leagues where if you talk, you put the run together that you kind of talk about over the next kind of 5 or 6 games, you could probably steal a march in the division.
Absolutely, yeah. I think obviously when we had our little low period earlier in the season, I think we looked like it was going to be a massive gap, and then you go and win sort of 5 on a bounce or 4 on a bounce, whatever it was, and then you're straight back in there. So we've got everyone around us coming up. If we can do that, we'll be all right.
The fact that this is, I think, only the second defeat since the middle of September shows that one defeat's not going to derail a season.
No, exactly, yeah. Like I said, the performance tonight it hurts because I think the lads are really, really good tonight. And sometimes these things are a blessing, these things are good that they can happen, and it's sort of back to the drawing board and realise, actually, lads, we need to sort of keep fighting and keep doing what we're doing. But we're in a really good place. We haven't felt like this much recently, so we just have to go against Saturday.
Is it like strange to have to get used to winning again? Because I mean, like we mentioned, last season was dark at times, and now getting on these runs is, I suppose, something of a little bit new, maybe. Yeah,
100%. And I think what the gaffer's sort of instilled into us, like the players from last season, because obviously it hangs over. Of course it does. Like last season was horrific. And that could have easily hung over onto this one, and we could have dragged the new lads down, and then you could have been sort of, all right, Gaffer said, right, later, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not happened. I think we're in a really, really good place, obviously. I think our sort of star players now are really starting to show what they're about. I think Mendes tonight was I'm watching him do things, and I think he's unplayable. So, and that's what we expected from him. Obviously, you've got Aaron Collins coming back now, and so we're okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of firepower waiting in the wing, especially with Aaron Collins.
Yeah, exactly. And what you see Aaron Collins do every day in training, he sort of sometimes takes your breath away the way you can finish and stuff. So another one we're really lucky to have. Obviously we've had to ease him back, but he's really eager to go, and we're going to need him.